Well, hello, students. Welcome to our first online test. So if you chose to join us today, Stella wanted to give you some encouragement. She says hi with a little heart and says, if you are taking this test, you're going to do great. And you know what? Don't feel nervous or anything. We're all learning some new stuff here. So thanks, Stella. Come on over here. You can hang out and give some encouragement to me as I read some of the problems. I want to review a couple of things with you first before we go over the test because there might be some manipulatives that I use as we take it. So I want to remind you that a stick like this is a 10, and the reason it's called a 10 stick is because it has 10 of these ones cubes inside of it, and they're all attached. So we're just going to count them really quick just so we see that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And if we have, let's just say, for example, the number 12, actually, let's add another 10. Let's say we have the number 22. Well, we talked about how we can show different ways to make numbers. So if we had a place value chart like this, ones and tens, I could write this and show that there are 2 tens and 2 ones. But to represent it another way, I can take one of these tens and break it apart. And when I say break it apart, I'm kind of trading it in for 10 ones. So let's count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I always like to double check my work, so I'm just going to count those one more time. And I'm going to count them by twos this time, just something a little bit different. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Nice. So I'm going to trade this in. And so now I'm going to put these guys over here in the ones place. This was 10. Okay, and these 2 more, I can count on 10, 11, 12. So now I have 12 ones. And I have 1 10. Now I can show another way, one more way to represent this number, which was 22 to start off with. And I can do the same thing. I can trade my 10 in. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to grab a few more ones cubes. I didn't quite pull enough out, which is okay. So here we go. Let's count by twos again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Nice. And like I said, I like to double check my work just to make sure. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Nice. So I'm going to go ahead and trade that in. I'm going to take these guys. Now remember, there was 12 here. I'm adding 10 more. So let's count on 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So now there are 0 tens and there are 22 ones. Let me move this over so you can see that because there's something covering it. So 0 tens and 22 ones. So that was a big concept that we learned how to do in this unit. So I'm going to go ahead and erase. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the text together. I'm going to read the problems to you, and I'll show you some of the manipulatives at times. Okay, so your test looks like this. You do not have to print it out. You could just do everything on some scratch paper. You could even just give your answers to whoever is sitting with you as you take the test. And it could be a stuffy, could be a pet, could be a human. Here we go. Number 1. How many tens? How many ones? Circle the numbers that match the model. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is take a look at our illustration that we have here. And we need to figure out how many is represented in this model, what that number is. So I would pause the video and take this opportunity to count this picture that you have here. After that, you need to figure out, like it said, let's go back up, how many tens and how many ones are there. I'm just going to give you a visual. I'm not going to count them because remember, this is a test. So this is something that you need to practice on your own. But if you were in the class, you would have manipulatives. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video. Go ahead and count that and then decide how many tens are there? Are there 2? Are there 3? Are there 6 tens? How many ones are there? Are there 2 ones, 3 ones, 6 ones? So make that decision. Okay, on to number 2. And again, if you still need more time, pause the video. Number 2, which number shows 1 10 and 4 ones? You have a bunch of different options here. A, 14, B, 41, C, 15, D, 13. Now, I'm not going to do the manipulatives for this one because if we were in class, I would tell you, you would have to show that number because it isn't drawn for you. But you can use the manipulatives that you see at the top to remind you what a 10 is and what a 1 is. So go ahead and pause the video while you think about that or while you make a drawing and select your answer. Okay, let's move on to number 3. Number 3 says, how many tens are in the number shown? Write the number of tens in the box. So the number that is written here is 50. You need to decide how many tens are in the number 50. You can draw a picture, you can use manipulatives, whatever you would like. And I want to go back and say, most of us do not have tens cubes or ones cubes. That's okay. You could use pencils, you could use markers. I've got some markers here that I could use as tens cubes. So whatever you want to use. And if you want to use beans or something small, even like pennies for ones, that would work too. I'm sorry for not saying that earlier. Okay, we're going to move on to number 4. Okay, number 4. What is one way to show 26? Show using tens and ones. Now I am going to give you a little reminder. This is a 10. This is a 1. You can use that knowledge to help you draw a picture. If you want to use some skinny markers or some pencils or some beans or pennies to represent these things, go for it. I'm going to leave these off to the side here. Go ahead and pause the video so you can answer that question. I'm going to go down to number 5. Count the tens and ones, write the number. So you're going to look at the place value chart here. You're going to count to see how many tens there are and how many ones there are. And I am also going to show you with my manipulatives how many they have there. Okay, so count that, write the number. You might want to pause the video. Okay, we're going to move on. I'm going to turn the page. All right, number 6. Which shows another way to write the number shown below? The number shown below is 93. So you have 4 different choices to choose from. First one, A, is 3 tens plus 5 ones. B says 3 tens plus 9 ones. C says 9 tens plus 3 ones. D says 9 tens plus 9 ones. So go ahead and choose your answer. Pause the video if you need to. Number 7. How many tens and ones? Write the number. So your job is to count how many tens and ones are here, and then you just need to write the number in the box. So because there's a picture there, I'm going to go ahead and represent this for you with my tens. Okay, so you can go ahead and count those. I'm going to put a little bit of a space between them so you kind of see them a little bit better. And then let's show how many ones there are. Make sure I didn't cover any of those ones up. Okay, so go ahead and take a moment. You can count those and then write your answer. Okay, number 8, write the number that has 8 tens and 7 ones. So you can use manipulatives. You could draw me a picture to show how you know what number is 8 tens and 7 ones, but you're writing the actual number. So for example, like up here, they wrote the number 93. You're gonna be doing the same thing, right? What number is represented by 8 tens and 7 ones? Go ahead and pause the video so you have some extra time. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to our last problem. We are almost done. Okay, so number 9. Use the numbers below. Write the correct number in the box under each chart. So the numbers you have here are 74, 51, 45, and 17. So you need to look at these place value charts and match them with the numbers that are above. Okay, so be careful to notice the ones place and the tens place. All right, students. Well, I have somebody here who is very proud of you and thinks you did a wonderful job, not just today, but the entire week. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll catch you in another video.